Hai, Assalamualaikum and Salam Malaysia Madani. My name is Nurul Najihah binti Rosli. I'm from PAKK1. I got a title about ECE Educator and English Language Communication Skill. Now, let me start. Aha! Can I ask you what is ECE Educator? What is that? Don't worry, I will tell you what is ECE Educator. ECE stands for Early Childhood Education. Early childhood education, which is ECE, is commonly understood, especially in our country, which is Malaysia, as providing care and education for young children from the age of newborn until about 6 years old. This means before they enter formal elementary education. At the same time, ECE education also various curriculum and teaching approaches were developed to enhance children's learning experience based on their needs and ability to support all three developmental aspects. What is the three main developmental aspects? Here we go. Three main developmental aspects for early childhood education, which is one cognitive, second physical, and third is social emotional. One cognitive. What is the cognitive? Cognitive means language development and problem solving skill. This means every young children will solve their problem if they have the cognitive aspect, which is one of the important main developmental aspect. Second is physical. Physical means development of gross and fine motor skill. What is the gross and fine motor skill? Motor development is often broadly divided into gross motor and fine motor skill. That means gross motor skill pertains to skill involving muscle movement such as independent sitting, walking, and running. And lastly, fine motor skill involve use of smaller muscle, for example, object manipulation and drawing. As we know, children love for drawing. And lastly, social emotional. What is mean social emotional? Social emotional means interactive with others. This means every children will interactive or communication with their parents, with their family, and with their friends. For example, social emotional children can feel happy, can feel sad, and can feel angry. Then we will see and learn what is English language. What is that? Don't worry, I will tell you what is English language. English language is one of the widely spoken language globally and serves as a lingua franca in international. For example, for business, science, technology, diplomacy, and popular culture. It is often used as a second language in many countries. As we know, our country, which is Malaysia, also use English as a second language. Now, I would like to share with you about history of English. English language, like many elements in the history, has gone many transformation. For nothing is permanent in this world. There are many contributing factors that play in its development as what it is now, including different influences brought to it by merging of culture and sometimes wow. English language also differ depending on the culture of one's country, since not only one country is using the English language, but the official, which is English language, for many of country, and each has some modification that represent their culture. Let's we continue. In this Kerbal period, which is English language, is considered as the world official language through which all countries are united heading toward future economic progress and common understanding of the people in the world in the country. Through this also, what is avoided, common goals are set for the good of all, and per country be taken into account by international organization and English language then as a widely accepted fact it, which is as we know English language is one of the lingua franca in the world. At the same time, English language also replacing another previously dominant language of the world. This slide, I give you one example of picture. I want to know what is the picture meaning? Yes, you are brilliant. The picture tell and ask you what are they doing? Hmm, what are they doing? They was communicate each other. Why? As we know, communication is really important in our life, in every minute, in every second. So, we need to have effective communication skill, especially for educators. Now, I will tell you about effective communication skill. Effective communication skills are fundamental to success in many aspects in life. For example, many jobs require strong communication skill and socially people with improved communication skill usually enjoy better interpersonal relationship with friends and family. Next, I will tell you about tips to be a good communication skill. What is that? One is maintain eye contact with the audience. Second, body awareness. Third is convey one thoughts. And lastly, practice effective communication skill. Therefore, we will discuss about what is communication skill. Communication skill, according to the Concise Oxford Dictionary, the words of communication skill means the act of imparting, especially news, or the sign and practice of transmitting information. I will add more information about communication skill. Communication skill are abilities for educator or teacher used when giving a different kind of information. While this skill may be regular part of teacher or educator day-to-day work life, communication in a clear, effective, and efficient way is an extremely critical and useful skill. At the same time, learning from great communication around teacher and effective precipitate way to improve the educator or teacher communication over time can currently support your effort to achieve various personal and professional goals, which is be a teacher. Next is communication skill also involve in listening, speaking, observing, and empathizing. It is also helpful to understand the difference in how to communicate through face-to-face interactions, phone conventional, phone convocations, and digital communication like email and social media. For example, social media is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Next, we will go a type of communication that can use for educators or teacher in early childhood education or another lesson. Here have four types of communication like verbal, non-verbal, visual, and written. First is verbal. What is verbal? Verbal is educator or teacher can use a strong, confident speaking voice This means every educator or teacher need to use a nice tone which is strong and confident when the educator or teacher teach at this class. Why? It is really important to educator or teacher have a strong voice. That means the teacher or educator can make sure their lesson become productive because every teacher and educator that use English language and at the same time the success criteria in the uh, textbook more effective. Secondly is use a effective listening. As we know, teacher also need to have effective listening. Why? It is because when the student that have a problem, from that, the educator or teacher can solve the student problem. Second, third is avoid filtered words. This means the teacher cannot to use the thicker words because the student also can understand the easy word. And the lastly, avoid industry jargon when applied. Second is non-verbal. As we know, non-verbal is in media social, uh, or it means e-digital. One of non-verbal is notice how you emotionally feel physically. Second is be intentional about your non-verbal communications. And lastly, mimic non-verbal communication you find effective. So from that, the educator or teacher can have communication, effective communication in their life. Then visual. Visual is the educator can ask another before including visual. Second, consider your audience to make sure your communication be effective. Third is only use visual if they add value. And lastly, make them clear and easy to understand. As we know, teacher need to communication and at sometimes need to have effective communication to make sure every people that teacher or educator talk with them, they will understand easily. And the lastly is written. Written is true of simplicity. Second is do not rely on tone. Third is take time to review your written communication. And lastly, keep a file or writing you find effective or enjoyable. Next, I will tell you about importance of English language communication skill as educator. As we know, a lot of important of English language communication to educator. So I prepared to you five of important that English language communication skill as or for educator is really important. Let's we go. The
The
importance
importance
of
of
English
English
language
language
communication
communication
skill
skill
for
for
educator is
educator, which is for
effective
teacher,
classroom
is effective
communication. What
classroom
is mean?
communication.
It means
What
that
is mean?
educator need
Okay,
to
this
communicate
mean is
effectively with their
educator need
student
to convey
communicate
information,
effectively
explain
with their
concept,
student
and
to convey
facilitate learning.
Another
Information,
point
explain
about
concept,
effective classroom
and facilitate
communication
learning.
is the
Another
educator
point is
can use a
effective
strong
classroom
English language
communication,
skill
which is
from
able to them
educator.
to the clearly
That
and
means educator
comprehensively.
can use a strong English
The
language skill
importance of
to
English language
enable them
communication
to do
skill for
clearly and
educator is
comprehensively.
effective classroom and
Next is
motivating.
engaging and motivating students.
That is
Engaging
Ikeni
students
and
in
motivating.
and maintaining their interest in the
That
subject
is
matter is vital
Ikeni and
for effective
motivating.
teaching. Another point is provision
That
English
is
language skill
Ikeni
can
and
help educator
motivating.
use various communications techniques.
That
For
is
example, the
encouraging
educator
and
can use
motivating.
storytelling and discussion to make
That
sure
is
the lesson more
encouraging and
engaging and
motivating.
motivating. Third is enhancing career opportunity. This means educators with strong their English language communication skill may have opportunity for career advancements, for example, participate in educational conferences, presenting research, or collaborating with educators from around the world. Next is providing clear instruction. That means is educator must provide clear instruction for assignment, for example, exam and another classroom activity. The effective communication skill help ensure that students understand what is expected of them, recording confuse and misunderstanding. The last point of importance of English language communication for educator or teacher is effective feedback. Providing constructive feedback to students is an essential part of the teaching process. This means is educators with strong English language skill can offer feedback from their student that is clear or not, festive, specific or not, and helping in guiding students' improvement. Now, let me see a few of techniques for educators to boost their English communication skill. Here have a little of introduction about technique for educator to boost their communication skill, which is a role or a teacher roles is to comprehend and break down complex information into the simplest form that can be easier conveyed to the student. At the same time, effective communication skill is sustain student attention, listening, and understanding. At some time, the teacher also can help to resolve the student's problem. Let we see a few of techniques for educators to boost their communication skill, especially in English language. Here have 2 points or 2 techniques for educators to boost and improve their communication skill, especially in English language. First is active listening. What is active listening? As we know, teachers are guides for students. Why teacher need to guides for students? It is because they need to listen to their students carefully at some time in order to understand and help them better. Therefore, active listening is really important for effective communication skill as it helps teacher to analyze student understanding of concept and resolve their queries. Next, active listening also can help avoid any misunderstanding, and this is a great way to develop trust and build relationship with students. Secondly, body language and voice tone. Body language is an important of verbal and nonverbal communication. Teachers should ensure that signal given through their body language must be positive, confident, and engaging. For example, eye contact motivates students to pay attention and show that teachers are being attentive and supportive to their students. Now, let me continue with the third point, which is encouraging teamwork. What is encouraging teamwork? Encouraging teamwork means teachers need to work in collaboration with college and the administration. Apart from teaching, teachers participate in other activities in the school where communication is the key to ensuring a good performance. At some time, teamwork helps teachers to make their tasks easier and learn from each other, like designing lesson plans, sharing ideas, and solving problems in a better way. Therefore, teachers can encourage students to perform in teams. Dividing students into small groups help them to easily share ideas, ask questions, and receive feedback, which ensures good communication. Lastly, safe environment. Why safe environment is the technique for educators to boost their communication skill. Hmm. That is because the supportive relationship between teachers, students, parents, and the school has a positive impact on teacher morals, participation, and achievement. Therefore, a safe environment makes communication easier where teachers can express their thoughts and challenge without any fear. Now, let we discuss about characteristic of highly effective English educator. What is that? That means teachers also have a fundamental role in their learners' academic achievement and their quality can highly influence student outcome. Let's we discuss about what is characters of highly effective English educator. Let's go. Firstly, imagination. Why imagination is one of character for educators to boost their English language communication skill. That is because a teacher who is imaginative can do wonders in English class. At the same time, their new ideas break monotony and make students take lively participation in the class. For example, Albert Einstein says that imagination is more important than knowledge. Furthermore, teachers who are imaginative can teach any language skill interestingly and effective. For example, the teacher or educator can develop students' creative self-expression. Teachers who are imaginative can explore and create a new thing in their lesson, especially in English communication skill. In the fact, students can enjoy being guided by imaginative teachers. Secondly is independent thinking. What is independent thinking? Independent thinking is the process of being able to think on your own without someone else guiding you. That means teachers can help their students develop their independent thinking only if they are independent. Independent thinking have a three inputs. First is thinking on your own. Second, being critical of what you see and hear. And lastly, that is third, questioning information and irrational assumption. The additional information about independent thinking is an independent thinker helps students develop their desire and ability to think on their own. An independent thinker contributes a lot to the team. Furthermore, language learning tasks should aim at developing students' thinking skill. Next, innovative. What is innovative? Innovative is an innovative for teacher dares to go off in track in order to be on the track. Students really and very like teachers who are innovative. What is innovative means? Innovative means is introducing change in new things or a new ideas. Second is daring to be different and be unique. Three is going off the track in order to be on the track. Fourth is experimenting new things. And lastly, educator or teacher need to be always fresh. Fourth is interaction. What is the interaction means? Interactions mean a teacher who promotes interaction in the English class does justice to their profession by empowering learners and sometimes can help them, which is students, develop their communication skill or for educators. Next is interaction also can make educator or teacher motivate their student. For example, create opportunities from them to interact with one another through communication. The interaction also can make sure educator become effective, which is the educator or teacher can adapt their communication style to meet the needs of their audience. For example, the educator or teachers may need to explain contents different to different students or use various teaching strategies to reach all learners. The last point is flexibility. Effective communication may require adjusting plans and strategies on fly. At the same time, educators should be flexible and open to change as needed to ensure effective learning outcome. The fact when the teacher or educator are flexible on their work, for sure, effective educator or teacher use a positive and encouraging language to motivate and inspire their students. Next, encouragement can boost confidence for learning. So from that, the flexibility that teacher or education do can become successful. Flexibility also means the teacher or educator use the clear organization of content, which is crucial in educational communications. Next, educators should structure their lesson, presentation, and written materials logical, with clear beginning, middle, and the end. Flexibility also can make sure educators become professional. Why? That is because educators should maintain a high level of professional in their communication, for example, with their students, with parents, or with college. These include using appropriate language in tone, respecting confidence, and adhering to ethical standards. Lastly, highly effective English language communication is crucial for educators as it plays a pivotal role in convey information, fostering learning, and building positive relationship with student and college. Here, I provide a link, which is the article throughout the complaint on this assignment, which is my assignment. I actually learned a lot about educator and how to communicate more effective when teaching students at school. And sometimes I also can learn about English language, as we know English language is the second language that is really important in whole world. So from that I can learn a lot of things, which is that element from my title, which is ECE educator and English language communication skill is really important, especially for teacher, which is educator. Here we are on the last page. I want to give conclusion about my title, which is ECE Educator and English Language Communication Skill. Overall, effective English language communication for educator or teacher is about creating an inclusive, supportive, and engaging learning environment where students can thrive academic and personality. It involves both the content of what is communicated and the way it is delivered to connect with device learners effectively. I think that's all from me. I want to say sorry if my presentation have a lag, and I hope I can pass excellent on this assignment. This is the last for me. Thank you, madam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.